Hi everybody, this is Abby with Scrappin' Abby, and I am doing a process video to share with you guys for my project for the Create, Craft, and Share YouTube Hop that's happening on Tuesday, May 27th. So this will be posted either the day of May 27th or the day after, because I'm actually doing two videos. One is to show the completed project and share the lineup of the other crafters that are in the hop, as well as mentioning all the sponsors and all the goodies that are being offered up for everybody who joins in on the hop. So I didn't want to make my video too super long, so I'm breaking it up into two components. So again, this is the information for the hop, May 27th. It's going to be lots of fun, you guys. So the theme that Miss Scrap and Match, who is it's just Scrap and Match. I just call her Miss Scrap and Match. I don't even know why, I just do. Anyway, so the theme that Scrap and Match has come up with, she's hosting the YouTube hop again this month, is a word of the year, or our chosen word of the year, or just a word that means something to us. And I had shared a video the first part of January where my word was gratitude and the derivatives of that, gratefulness, that kind of thing. And so my idea was to create a canvas that features some pictures of me and my family to hang in our living room with the word gratitude or grateful. But I really think I want to use the word blessed, because I am very blessed for my family, and I'm just so blessed that my son is healthy. I'll put a link in this video's description to the video I shared at the beginning of the year that explains my son had a pretty significant health scare actually on New Year's Eve that went into New Year's Day, where we had to travel to a hospital by ambulance a couple hours away from where we live. So I won't make the video too long talking about that, but it just means a lot to me. The word grateful and being blessed, because I'm blessed that my son is here. He's graduating and in June, and is very very excited for what his future is going to be for him. So that's why I'm choosing the word blessed instead of the actual word grateful or gratitude. But that's not to say I'm not going to incorporate that word into the canvas itself. So what I've done is I have a 12 by 12 canvas, which is what you guys can see here, and then I printed out a photo, and this is a picture that we took with our tripod with our camera. So it was pretty cool that we were able to not have to round up somebody to take our picture. This was taken on Mother's Day this year, and this is my husband Steve, Mr. Scrap and Abby. That's me, of course. It's my daughter Kaylee, who's 14 and is going to be a freshman in the fall. This is my son Trey, who's 18 and is about to graduate and will be going into the Air Force. And this is our little dog, our little baby Bella. So this was taken out in our backyard, and it was just a beautiful day, beautiful morning. So I'm going to be putting, trimming this down a little bit, but having this as the top of the canvas. And then on these other ones, these are, I believe, 4x4. Yeah, 4x4 artist canvas that I picked up from Tuesday morning. It came in a sheet. I think it had 9 or 12, I can't remember, in one package, but this is what they look like. So what I've done is I printed off a couple smaller photos that I'm going to incorporate on the canvas, and this is just me with my two kids, of course, for my Mother's Day picture. And then there's a picture of me and my hubby. So I'm going to be putting these on the canvas, trimming them down, and then to some of the components I'm going to be using on the project, I'm going to move this out of the way just for a quick second so I have some room so I don't scratch my photos. This is a large container full of vintage laces and trims that my grandmother gave to me. These are just on display in my craft room. I didn't have any plans of actually using them for a project, but I'm going to incorporate some on this canvas because it does mean so much to me. My camera is tilted, sorry about that. So some of the things I've pulled together, because if you guys follow me, you know that I kind of just shop around in my craft room and pull things out that I think I want to use on projects. So let's quickly go over. I might incorporate some of these flowers and the leaves, some of these flowers as well. I'm not going to make this such a purple bomb project like I always do, because it's hanging in my living room, and my whole house, believe it or not, is not purple. So I'm kind of going with some of the natural earth tones and then adding some pops of color. I won't go through each of these rub-ons in here because there's a ton, but I'm going to be pulling from some from all of these for some of the words, some of the images, and some for texture like the dots, things like that. So I'll be sharing that with you guys. And then what I'm going to be covering the entire canvas with originally is this banana leaf paper. This is who it's from if you're interested. I purchased this at CK Convention in 2012. So this is just really cool. I got a huge stack of it and I like it. It's got a nice texture to it. And then I'm going to be using a combination of some of my Lindy sprays, which I have not pulled out yet, but they're just over here in my tiered storage area. And I'm going to be doing some spritzing, and I'll be sure to do a process video for that portion. Just some of the natural fibers I want to be using, just some scraps of some burlap that I have, a couple different types. This is some fabric. This is leftover remnants. My brother-in-law owns you know, he does upholstery, and he saves me all of his scraps. And this is like $30 a yard for this fabric, and this is left over from a couple projects that he had, and he saved the scraps for me because this is amazing stuff to use for flowers. This is like really high grade stuff that only you know, upholsterers or businesses of that nature can get. This is totally different than what you can find at Joann's and Michael's. So I was really happy to get that. I'm going to be incorporating that. And then this is some leftover cardstock from my wedding invitations. My husband and I will be celebrating our 5-year anniversary this July 19th. And so I wanted to incorporate this on one of the photos of he and I, because it means a lot to me. Just some different papers for some different texture. You know, I might be incorporating some of this, you know, these bits of this. It's like the doily, but this is like paper form. I mean, like in a strip. And then maybe some doilies, I'm not sure. And then I have some different texture papers that I want to incorporate in the project. Possibly one of the cork butterflies. I'm not sure. I grabbed this burlap paper stack that I might maybe want to die cut out a word or shape or something. I don't know. So that's kind of the basis of my project. I'm going to be using some stencils, you know, with some modeling paste, that kind of thing. So this is just kind of the intro to share with you guys what this is looking like in my brain when it's naked, and before I do any of the fun stuff with it. So I'll be sure to turn the camera on when I'm working on, you know, putting the canvas background together and doing the different stamping and things like that. So I'll see you guys in just a little bit. Okay, so I wanted to share with you guys just a really cool kind of fun technique that you can do on your projects using the Lindy spray. So you don't always have to use them in the spray bottle. So I kind of, I'm not sure if you can see it here. It's light's kind of weird, but you can kind of see some of the green in the channels in between the you know, little image that I had, the stenciling. So I'm going to do that same technique. I'm going to do it in this upper corner here, but I'm going to zoom the camera in so you can see this a little bit better what I'm doing. Oops, there we go. So all I did was I took one of my Lindy sprays, this is the cement green, just took the cap off and then I'm just using just a paintbrush. Doesn't really matter what size, I guess just depends on what you want to use. I'm going to kind of give this a little stir so I get all the color in there, and then all I'm doing is just basically just taking the paintbrush and just tapping it here, and it's kind of wicking down in between. Not sure if you guys can see that very well or not. So it's just a really fun way to you know, use your sprays other than just spraying them. I think it's kind of cool. So you can do this for your flowers and, you know, other types of embellishments and things that you create with your mixed media projects or on cards and that kind of fun stuff. So I'm just going to go ahead and continue doing this. It's kind of, you know, not any real pattern, just kind of along the edges, kind of accenting some of the detail along the side here, just because I really want to incorporate some of the green, because that picture, the main picture that I'm using has the accents of the green since it was taken outside, and that's really what I want to focus on. So I'm going to go ahead and continue doing that just kind of on the rest of the canvas where I have that kind of distressed honeycomb stenciling right here that you see, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I did have one more thing I wanted to share with you guys before I got going on this. And if you hear something in the background, my husband's watching a TV show, so I just ignore that. Anyways, this is one of the pictures I'm using on the project. And you guys can see that I went and distressed the edges. It kind of gives it a really kind of a cool look, I think. And so I'm going to show you how I do that. It's really super simple. What I did is I printed off my pictures onto just some white cardstock. Heavy cardstock. It's just HP brand, just because that's just what I happen to grab. But this is the photo before, and I'm just taking my distress tool from Prima. It's got the little wire bristles on the end, and I'm just taking this, and I'm gonna try to stay on camera because I need to watch as I'm doing it, but I'm just taking this and I'm just kind of brushing along the edges just like this. And you want to be careful because this is on, you know, a cardstock. It's not on actual photo paper, which would be a really cool look in itself. But just because you don't want to accidentally tear too much and go this way or kind of lose control or take off more than what you want. So parts of this I'm leaving some of the edges you know, untouched, and then portions of it I'm leaving it, you know, not as distressed as others. And so I'm going to do just a little bit here, and then I'll show you guys up close what this is looking like. And I don't really want this to be like in a straight line or have any kind of, you know, looks like it was supposed to be, you know, it would be random, I guess what I'm trying to say. I just don't want any defined edges where it looks like I, you know, had a ruler or something when I was doing this. I just really like how it looks when it's just kind of random. And this just adds another element and texture to your photos on your project. So this is a lot of fun to do this. This really super quick technique. If you didn't have this brush or this tool from Prima, you know, you could use, there's all kinds of different types of distress tools. You could even use a wire brush if you had it like just in your toolbox or your junk drawer or something like that, because that's all this is. It's just, you can see, oh, maybe it's not one to focus, but you can see it's just wire bristle brush tips on the end. So it's not like you have to have this tool if you don't own it. Or I mean, you don't have to go out and get it, is what I'm trying to say, if you don't already own this. So I'm almost done. I'll show you guys. And what I'm doing kind of in the corner right here is I'm not making it to where it meets. I'm kind of making it where it goes in just a little bit. And I'm just lightly taking off that excess paper, the color. So it's just the white showing. Almost there. Okay. Let me brush this off here with my rag. And just to kind of show you guys how that looks. I think it's just a really fun technique and just a really cool way to kind of give your photos a soft edge. I'll probably go back in here actually and get rid of this dark piece right there. I don't really want that. That's jumped a little bit more just because it's my son's jacket he was wearing. So there. That doesn't bug me as much now that I've moved that. So anyway, just another little quick little I wouldn't even call this a tutorial, just really kind of showing you guys something really fun, quick, and easy way to make your pictures have a really kind of a cool, soft edge look on them. So anyway, back to the project. Okay, so this is probably going to be the last portion of the video I'm going to share with you guys, unless I do something really super cool on the pictures, because this is clearly not even, you know, close to being done yet. I just want to kind of document the layout and stuff before I start, because you will not see the white edge of the photos that you see here. I'm going to be trimming those down. I'm going to be doing some distressing. I have some stamping and inking and things like that to still add, but I just wanted to kind of get a visual of the layout. And then make sure my colors and stuff match, because I didn't want to make things too too dark, too purple. So this is kind of the general idea. The placement will be somewhere in this vicinity here. I'll probably place a little bit more, but these are the two smaller canvases that I covered and shared with you guys. There's a little bit of extra spraying and a couple different colors that I forgot to turn the camera back on for until I was already done, so I apologize for that, but you can see how that turned out really cool. This one I did a couple different coats on it because it started to be too purple, which probably sounds weird coming from me, but since I didn't want this to be a totally purple project, I wanted to kind of really mute it down and kind of tone down some of the purple. This is that paper from my wedding invitation, so I really wanted to incorporate that. And then just the side, as you guys saw, this is that lace doily, or that paper doily, excuse me, and then I just added some lighter spraying with some of the white just to kind of, you know, not make it quite so dark. And I really love how this looks. This is that banana paper, and let me grab it, share with you guys real quick here. This is what the paper looked like before, and that's what it looks like now. It's a combination of the sprays that I used. It really makes it look like wood. I don't know if the camera's picking this up or not, but it's really, really cool. And you know, this is the stenciling I did there, a couple of the sprays, channeling some of that green with the paintbrush as I shared with you guys. I concentrated on some parts of the canvas more than others to kind of get that kind of staining. I like that. The sides I did a little bit. I'm not done with the sides because I'm going to be doing some stamping to add some extra texture. So, you know, these white spots won't be there. This is just the base of the canvas. So now I can really kind of get the canvas put together, because the biggest part was just getting this done, so I had, you know, the space to you know, the canvas space to go ahead and start building my layers with my photos and stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started so I can get this project completed, and I'll be back.